Yes, you already know what it is. One half for the best bad guys in the biz. I go by the name of Steph Ronan, and you're watching the 404 HEELZ podcast, and I'm coming to you with your today's World End prediction show. AEW's final pay-per-view of the year. Looks like it's going to be a banger. All right, so let's get right into it right quick. You already see it behind me. You see these four gentlemen. And then, I don't know what any order of the match is going to kick off, but we're going to just run them through. And I'm going to give you my opinions of what's going to happen and why it's going to happen. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. You see it behind me, the four gentlemen. These are the final four contestants of the Continental Classic. The best wrestling tournament all year, hands down, in 2024. Whether you agree with it or not, that's up to you. But let's go ahead and run them down right quick. Okay, so the Continental Classic. In the blue league, the final two, we have Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Man, now, Tony must have put his draws on this one when he booked this one, because I promise you, on everything, this is going to be a banging match. And it's going to be a match that picks up where we left off from when Kyle Fletcher actually beat Will Ospreay. You know, of course he cheated. He's a heel, but the simple fact that he beat Will Ospreay and continued to go on this run, using that momentum of beating Will Ospreay to go on the run to actually gain a lot of points in the Continental Classic in the Blue League. So we're going to have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. We know the history between these two, longtime friends, now bitter enemies. You know, it's wrestling one-on-one. What else do you want? This is what we're going to get. And I personally am looking very forward to this matchup. I believe that this match might steal the show, but it remains to be seen. So let me go on to who I think is going to win. So I just talked about how Kyle Fletcher, he won the last matchup between him and Will Ospreay, right? This is where I think the buck stops here. I happen to know on good accord that Kyle Fletcher will lose this match. And I think Will Ospreay takes it. Call me crazy, but that's what it's looking like to me. Will Ospreay is going to take this match against Kyle Fletcher in a Continental Classic to move on to the finals, to meet the winner of these two competitors, Okada and Ricochet, in the Gold League. Now, there isn't much history between Okada and Ricochet. I don't know if they wrestled each other in New Japan. They may have not. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that they're going to put on a good banging match. Maybe not as good as these two, but these two can still go. Look at that. There you go. Now, Ricochet might be smiling now, but I promise you on everything, Ricochet, he's on a whole nother level. And I'm not saying that to be funny or that's just cliche, because he's out of this world. But he's on a whole nother level right now. His heel turn is being done fantastic. It's being done beautiful. And there is no kind of way I could see Ricochet losing this match to Okada. Because, why? My prediction is Ricochet is going to win. Ospreay is going to win. Those two are going to meet in the final. The real match. The meet for the final. In the final for the Continental Championship. And I'm going to give you another thing. Will Ospreay's going to lose. I pick Ricochet to win the Continental Classic. As a heel, in heel form fashion, he's going to cheat, of course, which is going to make him the biggest heel in the company. And I know the Hurt Syndicate might be heels, but they're not the biggest heel. They're cool heels. People like them. But man, this guy, no one likes him. And let me get one thing straight. Ricochet is doing his best work that he's ever done in a very long time. Now, I said it before in the post, and I'm going to keep reiterating. People are reacting to his character. And his character is this obnoxious guy that people just want to put their foot in his ass. All right? Now, the interviews that he's been doing, the things he's been saying, the things that he's been tweeting, it's all been a work. And most of you marks are falling for it, thinking that, oh, he's really being this way. No, he's not. It's a work. He is playing you guys like a fiddle, and it's working. I mean, he has toilet paper thrown at him on Collision. The man has all types of back and forths on Twitter, and it's working. I mean, think about it. The man came from WWE. No one cared about him. He was exciting to watch, and that was it. He was the highlight of the night, is what they call him, right? But for some reason, no one really cared about him. I don't think he was moving merch like that. He may have had a couple of pockets of fans here and there, but he wasn't doing what he's doing now. He is getting noticeable. He is noticeable, and one thing they always say, whether they booing you or they cheering you, like they say in wrestling, whether they booing you or cheering you, as long as they making noise, you're winning. It was times in WWE, Ricochet would come out to the ring, the crowd is quiet. They're only reacting to his moves. That was it. But this right here, I'm telling you, is going to be good. And I picked Ricochet to win the Continental Classic and become the new Continental Classic champion. He's going to beat Okada. Will Ospreay's going to beat Kyle Fletcher. They're going to meet for Will Ospreay and Ricochet 4. It would be their 4th match together, I believe. And Ricochet is going to win, of course, by cheating, like a heel does. Tell me what y'all think. That's what I call it. Let's move on. Let's keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. Let's go on to the next match. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this beautiful baby here and this fighter of a spicy mommy right here. We're going to have Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May, your champion, in a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, let me tell you something. I expect this match to be physical. I expect this match to be gruesome because Thunder Rosa knows how to put down and get gruesome in street fights, as we've seen before with the match that she had with Deonna Purrazzo. I'm sorry if I'm messing up her name. And we got Mariah May, who is no stranger to pouring blood. I think it's going to be a bloody, gory match. I think it's going to be a match worth watching. I mean, you know, I still feel like Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher is going to steal the match of the night, but I feel like these two right here, this might be the best women's match of the night, to be honest with you. And they got to go in against some competition because there's only 2 women's matches on this card, which is oddly strange to me because they have so much women talent in AEW, but they just don't display them as much as they want to. It's just the main storyline women will be displayed at the moment, and that's nuts. But you know, that's time for another story. But like I say, my winner I'm choosing, believe it or not, I think Mariah May's Mariah May's the AEW's Women's Championship reign comes to an end. Yes, I said it. Thunder Rosa is going to get her. She going to get her. And when she does, it's going to be beautiful. I think Thunder Rosa deserves it. Remember, she dropped the title because she had an injury, so she really never lost the title. She had a forfeit. I really feel like Thunder Rosa deserves it. And, you know, Mariah May had a nice run, but I think it's time for her to give it up. Now, most people who doesn't even watch AEW will say that Mariah May doesn't have no competition. You fucking stupid. Mariah May has plenty of competition. I mean, just right here, Thunder Rosa, Willow Nightingale, Anna Jay, Penelope Ford, Toni Storm. Not Timeless, but Toni Storm. We got Serena Deebs. We got Chris Statlander. We got Mercedes Moné. We got Camille. I mean, what else? I mean, who else? The list goes on. All the talent that AEW presents for the women divisions, and there are a lot of talented women in there. We got Britt Baker, for crying out loud. She hasn't even been in action, but she's still there, and she can put on a hell of a match if she has the right dance partner. Because sometimes Britt Baker, she kind of rough around the edges, kind of green sometimes. So, this causes her not to have good matches. It depends on who's her dance partner is. So, again, I'm going with Thunder Rosa in a hell of a banger match to win the AEW Women's Championship away from Mariah May and puts a stop to her crazy reign as champion. All right. Now let's go on to the next match. Who do we have coming up next? And of course, look what we have here. The match that I think a lot of people are going to sleep on, but I think there's going to be a match. It might live up to the first match they had, because the first match was good. And I'm talking about Mercedes Moné, your TBS champion, versus Chris Statlander 2. I really feel like Chris Statlander might get it this time. I think she's going to come back, get the championship this time, and I think, it's going to be a banging match. I mean, the storyline between these two has been phenomenal. Let's break it down for a little bit. Camille and Chris Statlander had beef, which eventually led up to Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander to have a problem. I honestly feel that Chris Statlander, again, is going to dominate the match with her size, strength, and power. Mercedes Moné is going to have to use her quickness and her savviness and her experience to try to get one over on Chris Statlander. The problem is, I just don't think Mercedes Moné retains this title, because I really feel like it's time for her to drop. I mean, unless she wins this match and goes on to someone else, but I really feel like Camille is the next person she's going to build, because that is all what Mercedes Moné's been doing, just building stars, building anybody who will come, she will build you up. So I will go with Chris Statlander for the win and become, I don't know how many times, but two-time TBS champion. It'd be 2 times. And I think this run from Chris Statlander is going to be her best one yet, because she's actually elevated since the last time she had the TBS championship. Mercedes Moné, again, she's improving in the ring. She's improving on the mic. But like I said, it's no surprise, because she was WWE as Sasha Banks. She killed it. Maybe not on the mic so much. I never really liked her on the mic at WWE. But again, she had writers, so it made it seem, it didn't seem as bad. But I think she's finally settling in. And I think sometimes as pro wrestling fans, we're a little bit too harsh. We're a little bit too critical on the performers that come out there to try to entertain us with their promos and in the in-ring work. Because, again, they still going through the pain. Mercedes Moné was still coming off an injury. She had to get herself back up to par, and you see what she's doing now. She's been putting on number of banging-ass matches ever since she became 100% healthy from her last injury. But, who am I, right? I don't know anything but just pro wrestling. So, that's either here or there. Statlander for the win. Mercedes Moné, we're going to drop the title. We're going to see who does what. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next match. And who is it tonight? Oh, man. Look at what we have here. Adam Cole, baby, versus Better Than You, MJF, for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And let's keep it a buck. This match is nothing about the Dynamite Diamond Ring. This is just a little added this is an added special for Adam Cole for if he wins. But this match is a rivalry match. It's a grudge match. It's a match that, a lot of people give a lot of flack for. They say, oh, the storyline is lost. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you're so quick to point out what's wrong with the storyline, but I happen to think the promo they cut together in the ring on the Christmas Collision special pretty much solidified and told you the reason why everything went when it went. See, the problem is people got so caught up in Maxwell's face persona. They thought that, oh man, he's gonna be face. The crowd is loving him. Oh, there's no way, and then look what happened. Adam Cole turned on him. But like Adam Cole said, he said, "You're just mad because I beat the devil to the punch." And he's right. Everybody, if they mama know, if you've been watching AEW long enough, you cannot tell me that you honestly thought that MJF was going full-fledged face. No. And you cannot tell me, and we all knew it, whether it was going to be Cole or whether it was going to be MJF, we knew somebody was going to turn on somebody. It just so happens to be Adam Cole turning on MJF first. Now, what I think it is the pro wrestling fans, I think they are so enamored. They love MJF as a babyface that when Cole turned on him, they thought that he was for sure a babyface. Oh man, this is what we want. We want a babyface MJF. But guess what? You're not gonna get it. That's not his MO. MJF don't want to be face. He could play a great face, but he don't want to be. He's still your scumbag, but he don't want to be face, and he's a damn good heel. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in a company, in a day and age, not a lot of real good heels are out. Most heels you like Dominic Mysterio. Everybody loves this dude. I don't like him. I think his ring work is horrible. I think his boo along, I call it the boo along, where everybody want to drown out what he say. I mean, he purposely say things just for you to boo. I get it. I get it. It's played out. WWE, they draw out stuff too long. Like they're drawing out Seth Rollins in his interesting music with this crowd singing, drawn out too much. They drawing out that damn Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan feud, drawn out too much. They drawn out the damn Judgment Day versus Damian Priest, drawn out. Drop it. It's time to move on to something fresh. So what's fresh is MJF, Adam Cole, baby, going head to head, and they're gonna finally put this storyline to rest. So all you cryings out there, you whiners out there, I don't get the storyline, it don't make sense, how could he change in this? Guys, it's pro wrestling. Does everything gotta make sense all the time? Because last time I checked, it don't. And who's really guilty of this more than anybody is WWE. Do I need to remind you guys? 2019, Hell in a Cell, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Seth Franklin Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match that was disqualified. What? Yes, you heard me right. There was a disqualification in the Hell in a Cell match to determine a winner. Go figure. Again, I thought Hell in a Cell had no disqualifications in the match. I thought that was the whole reason of the Hell in a Cell match. There is no disqualification. But apparently I was wrong. And that same night in 2019, the Hell in a Cell, right after that match, the crowd started chanting AEW, AEW, AEW. Again, Vince McMahon was in power, and this is one of those Vince McMahon things that's just horrible choice for him. But that's either here or there. I'm going with Adam Cole to beat MJF. I want MJF to beat Adam Cole, but I feel like story purposes and to get Adam Cole back on track, they're going to use Adam Cole to beat MJF and to actually be the first person to have a Dynamite Diamond ring since its inception, because it's always been MJF that wins it. Go figure. And that's right. Adam Cole to beat MJF for the Diamond ring. Not because I want him to, just because it would make sense, storyline purpose. All right. Let's move on to the next match that we have. Wow. And I say wow because this match wasn't promoted. There was no real solid storyline behind the fact that my man Powerhouse Hobbs used to be in the Don Callis family. Takeshita is in the Don Callis family. He is the international champion. But other than that, other than the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs is mad that no one reached out to him, he got injured from the Don Callis family, and Takeshita, I guess, really never liked it, Hobbs, and now they're going at it for the international championship. I can't really say much about the backstory to this one because there isn't really much one other than what I just explained, because again, this match seemed like it was just thrown together. Typical AEW fashion. Again, full HEELZ, we keep it 100. I'm going to criticize WWE, I'm going to criticize AEW. And again, this is what it is. You're not going to have riveting storylines on every match. That's just what it is. But I expect these two to put on a great hell of a match. I want to say, I never really thought about who's going to win this one. I'm gonna go with Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Powerhouse Hobbs for the win to become the new international champion. And I think it's gonna be something where Don Callis, it backfires and he's trying to help him out, and Takeshita don't go for it. So I really feel like that's what could happen. So I'm picking Powerhouse Hobbs to be the new international champion, even though my instinct is screaming Takeshita is going to retain. But, we'll see. Now, that brings us to the final main event of the evening. And I'm talking about your AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Jay White versus Orange Cassidy versus Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, representing the Death Riders. Almost call them the Rough Riders. Ain't that some shit, bro? How I think this match is going to go down, and let's be quite frank. This storyline has been twisting and turning in more ways than I can remember. Some say the Death Rider storyline is falling flat. I'm still holding out hope for them to do something riveting that would justify everything they're doing. So technically, you got Jay White, who's came back from injury and has been very impactful. Orange Cassidy just fought for the title against Jon Moxley the last pay-per-view, which I don't understand why he's in it again. I don't know what's Tony Khan's obsession with this guy right here, but he likes him a lot. And Hangman Adam Page, I really feel like he shouldn't have been in this conversation either. So basically, Jon Moxley's opponents, to me, look like they were just been thrown together. I don't understand why Jay White is in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. I understand why Orange Cassidy is, but he lost last time, so he shouldn't even be in it. Hangman, I don't know. He's lost his last couple of matches, so why is he even in the picture? So I'm guessing like if it wasn't these guys, would Jon Moxley not have an opponent? I don't know. I'm looking forward to the 4-way match, but I have to be quite honest with you. This is probably one of the matches I'm not that much invested in. It just feels like it was thrown together. It doesn't feel like there was no build to a match. And for a World Heavyweight Championship match, you need to have a build. Definitely if you have a storyline like Jon Moxley and they trying to replenish and correct the wrongs of AEW. So now let's go to my prediction of who I think is going to win. It's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to have to go ahead and say it, man. I think Moxley retains. Moxley retains against these guys. I really feel like these three are going to be their own worst enemy. I feel like they're going to start off trying to tame the tag up against Moxley, which eventually is going to happen is they're eventually going to start fighting themselves. Moxley's going to creep in and get the win some kind of way, or maybe he might have some help from the Death Riders. I don't know, but Moxley retains. This guy right here, he retains. Other than that, I don't see anything out of the blue. Now, I've heard some rumors online that people are hoping and praying that Shane McMahon will make his first time AEW appearance if he is still signing with the company. I don't know. It's Worlds End. Maybe he comes out on Worlds End and in the old world of AEW. Who knows? A McMahon in the AEW company. Imagine that. But other than that, I'm trying to make sure I hit all the matches, and I really did. Yeah, that was it. And that's it. This match that's the pay-per-view. We got a total of 8 matches, if you include the final Continental Classic match between the 2 of the last 4 men remaining standing. And that's about it. So you guys see what you think. Like, comment, subscribe on the below. Tell me what you think. Who's going to win? Who's not going to win? Tell me if you really feeling this pay-per-view. Is this something you're looking for? If not, tell me if you rock with AEW. If you don't, who knows? I don't care. Doesn't matter. I want to see your opinion. This is what it's all about. Show me your opinion. Tell me your opinion. We go back and forth. We're going to chop it up. Throw it in the pot. We're going to make it do what it do. You dig? So, with that being said, this is Steph Ronan, one half of the 404 HEELZ, coming to you for your AEW Worlds End prediction. Saturday night. It goes down at 8 o'clock. Tune in. I know I'll be there. You make sure you are. And when we all done, we're going to do a recap show. And we're going to talk about how the pay-per-view was. I'm going to give you my rating of the matches. Hopefully my boy Aaron will get down with it, Shout out to Aaron. He's more of the WWE guy. I'm more of the professional wrestling guy, period. I just like good shit. But yeah, shout out to Aaron. 404 HEELZ. Word on the street. Fan questions. We're going to do our end of the year categories, best wrestler of the year, best women's of the year, match of the year, tag team of the year, moment of the year, promo of the year. We're going to give them our opinions. We ain't going to do no Sports Illustrated. We ain't doing what nobody's doing. We're going to come with it because we keep it 100 on the 404 HEELZ. Until next time, keep it locked. Keep it creased. Until the next time we speak, peace.